In terms of the album itself, it began with the notion of writing a series of songs about extreme emotions. And I decided to start that off on day one of working on a new project. I wrote down a list, one word list of strong emotions. Some nice things like compassion, loyalty, companionship, love, spiritual love, brotherly love, erotic love. I wrote down some nice things, and then I wrote down a bunch of the bad stuff, like hatred, anger, retribution, vengeance, jealousy, rage. So I looked at my list of single words, and it occurred to me that I recall those featuring prominently in the Bible. And so I decided to do a big Bible search of examples of biblical texts that incorporated those one-word pointers. And then I copied and pasted a lot of biblical text, put it into a document, had it sitting on one side of my computer screen as a reference when it came to writing songs. I didn't use any biblical text in any of the songs. I simply took the essence of some of that and decided to try and put that into songs that were, songs that are in the present day, in a real world scenario, not in a historical biblical context. Although there was one song that probably, does really sit in its original time and place. So that was the concept, if you like, was to create a variety of different songs about human emotion. And the title track, The Zealot Gene, was simply one of the songs. I decided, after thinking of a few album titles, to make it a title track, and it seemed to sum up perhaps some of the general fanaticism that goes with certain emotions. And I rather thought it would be a good example of emotion running high in terms of populism, division in society, and the subject material behind that song. It would be easy to say, "Oh, he's singing about Donald Trump," but in fact, there is no one model for that song. It's at least half a dozen people whose names come immediately to mind as populist national leaders who, whether they live in a pseudo-democracy or a virtual dictatorship, are people who I'm thinking of when I'm singing the words of that song. As always, I tend to have something in my head when I'm writing a song. Usually it's a visual image. So I'm working from memories of photographic images, or in the case of the biblical references, when I read the biblical text, I immediately have a picture in my head. Yeah. Then I take that picture and then write a piece of music about the picture. So I'm kind of writing about the based on some of the elements of biblical text, but I'm once removed from it, because I'm tending to take the text and then make my own little kind of movie or my own still image out of something I've read, and then write about that image in musical terms. Well, that's kind of the way I worked on this album, but usually I'm not starting off with text. I'm usually starting off with a visual image. Although there have been occasions when I can recall writing about something that I read as text in a newspaper before I saw any visual images associated with it. But that's my way. I'm an observational writer. I tend not to be writing about me and how I feel. I'm not an emotional character. I'm a cold fish, and I tend to write about other stuff, not about my own emotions so much.
Fascinating insight. I love hearing them sort of stories. I mean, we're talking 50 plus years that you've been doing this, into the 7th decade, in fact, of producing music. I mean, do you still enjoy putting new music down and thinking of new things and ideas and themes for songs?
I hope so, because in in just not much more than a week from now, I will be preparing to embark at 9 a.m. on the 1st of January 2022 on a new project, as I have done on the last 4 projects. So I'm at 9 o'clock on the morning on the first day of a new year. That's when I think, right, this is it. I'm going to start. And so far, so good. You know, by 10 o'clock, I've got a couple of ideas, and hopefully by lunchtime, I'm, you know, kind of on the way towards something. And I hope this time is no different. Not met with a total absence of either energy or inspiration. But you know, hopefully it'll come to me. And it's quite exciting putting yourself on the spot and making yourself go halfway to meeting the muse rather than waiting for her to visit you at a time convenient to her.
Fascinating.